What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for my final Philadelphia Eagles 2021 NFL mock draft. It is the first of two final mock drafts ahead of next week's draft. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week, I will do my final first-round mock draft, trying to predict the picks and see how well we can look back in hindsight. Like, oh, look, he actually, like a couple years ago, I called Titus Howard getting drafted to the Texans. Don't know why, but I did. And it worked out well, but it's very hit or miss. It's like March Madness. All it takes is one or two trades to completely bust a mock draft. But it's part of the fun, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, mock drafts are kind of stupid. But we're here for the Philadelphia Eagles. I've been actually spending probably the last 2 days kind of just getting notes about what could Philadelphia look like in 2021. Like, we're looking at the offense that's a little bit more predictable. Defensively, though, it's a little bit of a mystery, because we're getting a DB coach. We're getting a guy that, we're going to assume Philadelphia's probably going to look like a little bit of a mismatch of the Colts and Vikings defenses. So it's like, okay, so we're going to have, they're going to look for, it's going to be zone, rush for, linebackers are expected to be more cover. There's always going to be safety help, so we're not going to overdraft corners. You got to tackle well at corner. We're going to be so from that, I've got a little bit of a list here of players that we want to try to address throughout this mock draft. It's not the best roll of the dice, I'll be honest with you. It could be worse. Patrick Surtain is probably my top pick, like my dream pick right now at 12. I think he's a scheme versatile corner, blue chip corner, can absolutely start and play opposed Darius Slay week 1. And corner 2, which is a starter, is Philadelphia's biggest need in this draft. If we can get a corner 2 at 12, that's a dream scenario. J.C. Horn just went to the Giants. He's most likely the second corner on the Philadelphia Eagles board, if not first corner. So that was a little bit of a slap in the face. But I don't hate the board. So going into this mock draft, here are my needs. Here are like what I want to prioritize trying to get in this mock draft. We have wide receiver 1, because there's not one guy right now in the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver room. That is wide receiver 1. We need a receiving running back to fill that Nyheim Hines void. We need tight end depth behind Dallas Goedert. And we probably, offensive lines, it's never bad adding bodies on offensive line, but we want to kind of prioritize maybe getting the heir to Jason Kelce at center if they don't feel like Nate Herbig, who's solid, can be that guy. So then on the defensive side, I think we need defensive end depth for sure. Defensive tackle 3. You could look at, I just wrote down linebacker 1. Even with Eric Wilson and Alex Singleton being the breakout stud last year, still kind of like the wide receiver room, we have guys that aren't really like, that bona fide linebacker, and you're seeing, just look at the Super Bowl. Bucks, Devin White, freak middle linebacker, investing heavily in the linebacker position. That is a big reason of where the Bucks went where they were. Linebacker 1, absolutely need. I think corner 2 is the biggest need of all for Philadelphia. I think you could also get probably 2 to 3 corners in this draft, and it wouldn't be head-scratching for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think getting safety depth definitely helps. Anthony Wilson coming over the Vikings is nice, but it's only a 1-year deal. Rodney McLeod, the other starters, coming off an ACL. Not a lot of long-term projections in that safety for Philadelphia. Hopefully, Kevon Wallace can be something, but definitely a spot I'd like to get better. And I'm also throwing kicker in here. We're in a rebuild. So if Jake Elliott sucks and it's so expensive for a kicker, dead buddy, all that stuff, who cares? We're in a rebuild. We need the best kicker available. So we'll see what happens a little bit later on the draft. So here at pick 12, getting right into it. There's 3 guys, I really think. Jalen Waddle, Michael Parsons, and Mac Jones. Don't think Mac Jones is still going to be here at 12, but I think everyone else has a legit shot. Jalen Waddle could, you'd be looking at this board and being like, well, it's not completely unrealistic that the Miami Dolphins could like Devontae Smith over Jalen Waddle. So I think if this is the board for Philadelphia, you have Caleb Farley as the top corner, Micah Parsons, JOK at linebacker. I would say JOK, just because Parsons started as an edge rusher at Penn State, Philadelphia, assuming, if we can project Gannon's defense, they're not going to blitz the linebackers at all. JOK could very well be the most valuable player at pick 12, but we've seen all these reports time and time again. Hallie Roseman just kind of goes with his guts, doesn't take any real input into his drafts, and hopefully he learns from that, but I'm going to assume that he's still just not going to value this linebacker spot. So I'm just going to grab Jalen Waddle, get a guy that can be the T.Y. Hilton. He literally was my comp, my pro comparison on the Patreon. Oh my God, Jamin Davis just went. That's annoying because that'd be a great fit at 37. But, we talk about what is going to be like. There was just a report that came out, Sirianni, from the press conference that they did with Howie Roseman and all those guys as well. Like, what does your ex look like? And he said he's had T.Y. Hilton as his ex. And according to my, if you like my player comps, Jalen Waddle was T.Y. Hilton. So, he's a better version of Jalen Reagor. And I think that if Jalen Waddle is available at 12 and you truly believe he could be the X in Nick Sirianni's offense, I didn't see anything from Jalen Reagor last season that would make it so I can't draft Jalen Waddle because we have Jalen Reagor. There's no denying Jalen Waddle is an upgrade over Jalen Reagor. And hey, hopefully Reagor develops as well, and Waddle and Reagor can both be elite. And it's just another Jalen. That's all. That's fun. Wow, that's who's available. This is already, it's already stupid. There's no way I'm not going to make this pick. I mean, there was reports that people think that this is the weakest defensive line class. You can only play within the mock draft that you are. Barmore, for sure, D tackle 3. It's a position that Philadelphia always likes to invest in. Laughing if he's available there to the Philadelphia Eagles, to be completely honest. I have not done one mock draft where Barmore is still available. And of course, it happens in my final video for someone to just come in and go like, this is the worst mock draft of all time. But this is a site. This is a legit site. I like this site more than the Draft Network, to be honest with you. And okay, Philadelphia. I can't remember the last time they drafted an Alabama player, and we got 2 here in the first round. I would say likelihood of Jalen Waddle being available at 12 is probably 50-50, 60-40 he is. Likelihood of Christian Barmore being there at 37, like 25%. Like, there'd have to be some red flags. I mean, he is only like a 1-year starter, but that's suspect to say the least. But we're going with it, man. Rolling with the punches. 3rd round. Kenneth Gainwell absolutely could be the Nyheim Hines type running back that we need. Wide receiver, we're not going to double dip there. Tight end, Breven Jordan would be very interesting. That's solid value in the 3rd round. Offensive line, Christensen, a little bit older of a player. Don't really need a tackle that high. I actually would love Wyatt Davis here. Immense value, 53 ranked player. I have him going in the 2nd round. But guard, are you really going to spend a 3rd round pick to upgrade Isaac Seumalo? That's kind of the question. Or are you going to start planning for life beyond Brandon Brooks? But in terms of BPA, Wyatt Davis right now, top of the list. We had Barmore, don't have to worry about that. Edge rushers, not great value, at least right there in the 3rd round. Linebacking core, not bad. Secondary, oh boy. So we're still looking for that guy that could start on the other side. Here's where things get interesting. I've looked through corners. I think Shaun Wade is a good fit for Philly's new scheme. I think Trill Williams, who I think Philly showed some interest, good fit for scheme. I think Ambry Thomas is a good fit. I think Rodarius Williams, that's Greedy Williams' brother, perfect fit. He's one of those guys, absolute perfect fit for Philadelphia's new scheme. But are you drafting either one of these guys in the 3rd round? Like, I don't want to slight the importance of how bad Philly needs an outside corner. And honestly, Shaun Wade's a slot or a safety. Trill Williams has length to be an outside guy, but I'm a little bit worried that, he played safety. He's a safety corner type hybrid, kind of like Shaun Wade. I think given the board at this point, I would say I'd have to go Adebo from Stanford. Not the best fit, but outside corner, man, you have to just get a guy that's talented. Hopefully you can mold him into your fit. That's how you show, as a defensive coordinator, that you're worth your weight in developing clays. I think you just need cover guys. There's a certain point where, like, all right, maybe you want a better tackler than Adebo. It's not a reach. It's not a square, perfect. It's not like a huge square that you're trying to fit through a round hole. And I'm not going to lie, the Barmore being available in the 2nd round, we most likely could have got a better scheme fit at corner there. But Barmore, there's no way. I'm not jumping over Christian Barmore because, again, best player available for Philadelphia. We have no good young players for the most part. So even if it's a spot that you're a little bit deep on the depth chart, get the studs. So we're looking for a linebacker. Could still double dip at corner. Could use depth at safety. Looking at linebacker, Dylan Moses is there. Cam McGrone. I would probably get... Moses is a tough one because he's a guy that, like, if you did your due diligence, you saw the medicals, you could bring him in. He was a ghost. Like, McGrone might be a little bit safer. He kind of reminds me of Jordan Hicks a little bit. Neither one of those guys are, like, excel in coverage. Like, this is where, like, Jabril Cox from LSU. If I could have grabbed him somewhere, like, Barmore screwed up this mock draft, but I'm sticking with it. Don't want to re-record this. And this is what this is a mock draft. Crazy things happen that completely shuffle your draft board, and this is what Howie Roseman sucks at doing. So looking at this, this is tough. I think third round's not bad value for Dylan Moses, who 2 years ago was a lock to go in the first round. I think Cameron Grown's good as well. I think knowing Philadelphia, I would take the gamble because McGrone doesn't have a whole lot of football played either at Michigan, and I would say that as long as you're making this selection, knowing that the medicals are promising, and even though Philly got the medicals completely wrong on someone like Sidney Jones or Carson Wentz, I think I would gamble if Moses is there and he's on your board. You did not write him off because of the injuries. I would say, hey, let's see what this new DC can do. We got the linebacking coach from the Vikings. He's developed those guys fairly nice. Let's see what. Oh my God, we have so many Alabama players. So we're now here in the fourth round. Davis Mills is sitting up there if you want that project quarterback to stick on the roster behind the new franchise quarterback that we've landed in Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco. But looking at the rest of the board, I think for Philadelphia, so we're like, look at what we're checking off. We got wide receiver 1. We brought in D tackle 3. We have our, hopeful corner 2. We brought a linebacker in. So at this point, we're looking safety. I think I really do like Jacoby Stevens. I would love to be able to get him here in the 5th round. He's 154 at 150. Is he still going to be there? I don't know. Could use some corners. Rochelle's my dude, but not a perfect scheme fit. I think Thomas Graham fits our scheme. Rodarius Williams down here fits our scheme really. I got to do it here. He's such a good scheme fit. He's good in zone, really good in run defense. And good production. I think he's just such a nice player. And then, of course, we lose the safety in Jacoby Stevens, unfortunately. Edge rushers, Kane Doe, generic. I like either of the Florida State edge rushers. We could probably wait a little bit, especially Jadarius Robinson down there, because either one of those guys kind of like Josh Sweat in terms of not huge production, but also very good athletes, very good guys that if you have a good defensive line coach, you're going to be able to develop them nicely. Here you go. 150, we're going to get Demetric Felton, a.k.a. the Naheem Hines of this draft if you don't get Kenneth Gainwell. So I'm happy with bringing that in. I like Grimes a lot. That's bias for me from Florida. But he transferred from Ohio State, and while a lot of mouths to feed at Florida, Kyle Pitts got his, Kadarius Toney got his. That next group, Trayvon Grimes, height, weight, speed, wide receiver. You can never have enough of those on the Eagles depth chart. So now we're back at safety, and here we're going to grab Zach McPherson. Really good scheme fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. Zone guy, loves to tackle, really productive Texas Tech. Do we have a center that we can get? Center to groom behind Jason Kelsey. That's not really any of those guys available right now. I would actually think right here, 225, I'd go Kylan Granson. Good receiver, good depth at tight end behind Dallas Goedert. Even then, though, at that tight end spot, there's still guys that I like. If you didn't like Granson there, I think someone like Briley Moore could be interesting. Sean Byers, Zach Davidson, all those guys. But Granson's a little bit more of a proven receiver, which is, if we're not going to bring back old Dick Rod, Richard Rodgers, someone like Kylan Granson in the 6th round has a good chance at making our final roster here. Corners that are fits for Philly, Chris Wilcox from BYU, good scheme fit. I think Brandon Stevens from SMU, good scheme fit. Eccles would probably be a solid scheme fit, ran 4.3, something like that. That's nickel. And it's all going to be how they're going to use McPherson here. We're 7th round picks. Are we really good? I honestly, if we're the 7th round and Snowden's still there, I'm getting him. 6, 7, figure out a way to develop him. Figure out a way to find him his role in the NFL. Is he going to be an edge rusher? Because he's not really an edge rusher. Just a weird, different type of unicorn. People throwing unicorn right now when you're talking about Kyle Pitts. I think Charles Snowden's kind of like a dollar store, like a knockoff made in China unicorn, where it's you know what? There might be something there. No one really knows how you're going to use them. That's your Jordan Mailata pick, even though he actually played football, had some good production in Virginia. But in terms of what in the hell is this guy got to be in the NFL? Let's grab that in the 7th round. And then we're going to finish up here. Again, pretty obvious we haven't addressed the offensive line. It'd be very weird for Philadelphia to go draft without addressing the offensive line, but we don't really need tackles. I don't know how many of these tackles could move into guard. Like, Herring's a good athlete. I'm going to want to move that to guard. Himmelman's gigantic. Can he move into guard? Coleman's swing tackle. Van Lanen's swing tackle. Interior lineman. There's no centers. I think that would be worth at this point drafting to try and learn a thing or two from Kelsey. So it's like, Dimukeje. We also don't have an edge rusher yet in this mock draft. Again, we're doing this live. This is my final Eagles mock according to this site, and that pick there completely screwed up everything. But I'm happy with it. This is the mock draft. I guarantee this is better than what Howie Roseman is going to do. Jalen Waddle, Christian Barmore, Paulson, Adebo, Jalen Moses, Rodarius Williams. We got Demetric Felton, Trayvon Grimes, Zach McPherson, Kylan Granson, Charles Snowden, and Victor Dimukeje from Duke. So that is my final 2021 Philadelphia Eagle mock draft. It's going to be fun in a couple weeks' time whenever the completion of the 2021 draft happens. Look at what Howie Roseman did. Look at what I did. Stu did the better job. But as we wrap this one up, let me know how you feel about those picks in the comment section below. Those are some links I want you guys to check out. We have my Patreon, which is the best way to go above and beyond to support my channel. We just recently eclipsed 90 monthly Patrons, which is incredibly humbling. And given, the state, let's be honest, we all know it's, what my YouTube channel is doing lately. The Patrons are greatly appreciated. And I can't wait to keep continuing to give you guys, more content, more exclusive stuff, draft stuff. We're already slowly getting ready to start posting stuff previewing next year's draft, the guys that you want to pay attention to in college football, podcast, stuff like that. The Instagram, we're getting close to 1,000 followers on Instagram, so go check that out. Sometimes we have some fun on there. And there's my Twitch. I'm not sure yet. Stay tuned on the social medias and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure I'm leaning towards streaming my draft stream, just chilling there on Twitch, and then I'll be able to clip things that happen throughout that stream, like my reaction to the Philadelphia Eagles pick, and I'll be able to upload that to YouTube while I'm still streaming on Twitch. So it feels like it might be easier for me to multitask content by streaming on Twitch and then uploading the clips to YouTube. But I will be letting you guys know closer to the draft where I will be doing my final stream. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow, hopefully, if not, it might be Monday. I'm going to try and get it done tonight. But I did get a new shipment in from British Columbia, and if you know anything about Canada, you know what I probably got in the mail. So I don't know how much work I'm going to be doing tonight, but I'm going to try and do the new episode of Rebuilding the Hardest Team in Every Madden 2003 edition, or is it 04? No, we're on 03. That should come out tomorrow, if not Monday at the latest, but hopefully, because obviously Sunday's a better day to upload videos. But if not, I'll see you guys when I see you. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment how you feel with this mock draft. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.